Welcome back to the Virgo channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to do a general message for Virgo. Know that energy is fluid. Roles could be reversed. Interpret the message as it best resonates with you. Also know on this channel, I like to dive deep within the reading. So I do look at everything, but we take a lot more time to look at the blocks and the shadows, see how they play those karmic themes so that you can understand why your person's doing what they're doing. What is the whole spiritual significance of the connection so that you can heal what's happening and so that you can create a different and a reality that's more in alignment with who you are today and the things that you want today, not more in alignment with the traumas of the past. Now, anything of any importance or relevance to the channel you can find in the description box, including the word of the video, which is always the first card that I pull out. It's the underlining energy that tells us why everyone's doing what they're doing. My website link is in there, and also my life coaching link. So if you're someone that is interested in shadow healing and want to know what your soul's purpose is and get full life coaching, then this is definitely something that you should look into. All you need to do is fill out the link in the description box, okay? Um, just directions also on what you have to do to enter into winning a free reading with me will always be in the description box. And that means like the video, subscribe, write the word of the video, but also if you see the word winner underneath your comment, that you got to reach out to me through my email. Tell me what channel you found me on. Be open to getting the reading live. All giveaway readings are done live on YouTube. You get the link. You can make it more private by sending me your questions the day before. I just believe in spiritual law, what's best for everyone involved. And, the readings are healing styles. So collectively, a lot of times people benefit. All right. So let me jump right on in. Let's see what the word of the video is. I hope everyone's having a good Sunday or Monday or wherever you are, like what day you're in. I know Australia is the day before the States, other places too. I just don't know offhand. Okay. The word of the video is permissive, permissive. Uh, and the card right up front that was facing it is intolerant, and my intuition wants to take it, so we're gonna take it, but I'm also gonna pull. Again, disgust, right? That's what I like. Intolerant, disgust, pretty much the same thing. It's like I feel like you got tired. You're tired of like being connected to a person that acts like they don't care. Like again, that's pretty much nothing's happened. They haven't done anything. They haven't reached out, and I feel like really you saw this person a lot better than they actually are. That's what I feel like. I feel like you really thought that this person had high character, high morals. You didn't see them as a player when you first met them. You really admired the person. I feel like they have work a good job. They might have children, and if they do, they treat their children well. There's someone that cares about their mother. There's someone that tries to be interactive within their community. And they do all that, but there's also a much, much, much darker side to this person. And I feel like this person exposed themselves, and partially because they held back from you. And that's why you're like disgusted over how much time you wasted. You're first disgusted over who this person is showing you that they are. That's number one. You thought that they would someone that would fix, not be an avoidant person, but someone that would fix their mistakes, someone that would be humble, someone you actually thought this person was either divine masculine, divine feminine, and what they're showing you is that they're a karmic, and it's because you're disgusted by them, and it's mainly because they're very close-minded. It's like you're just intolerant to like my way or the highway type of attitude. So I feel like you disconnected from this person. That's where you are now. That's the underlining energy. So I'm feeling like you're in separation from someone that doesn't really know how to deal with the situation because they didn't see you letting go. They didn't see you, getting disgusted by them. They thought, you know, well, what it is that they were distracted too long. It's like that's really what it is. It's like you felt like if you can't be here with me, what is like distracting you? And when you're with me, are you distracted? Are you checking out? Are you not, are you here, but you're not really here? There's always a sense that you feel like this person is with you, but there's always other things going on in this person's mind that they're like checking out, that they may be with you, but not with you. And this is now this person I feel like is a little bit traumatized because they didn't see you letting go. So it's almost like now they're checking out of reality. And but this person, like I said, is always didn't give you the time. Didn't give you the time. Always felt like something else was going on, and then they needed to get a lot of attention from other people because emotionally they weren't giving to you. So this is someone that I feel like creates a lot of personas. They want to be the life of the party. This is someone that needs the spotlight on them. They need attention, which means they don't really like who they are. Again, if people love the real you, this person doesn't really believe that. So what you're seeing is not just a person that has a lot of spiritual blocks and it comes out in their character, my way or the highway, but addictive behavior and avoidant behavior. And you didn't see any of this. What you're seeing now is that they feel bad about themselves, and that's why they have to go and get attention from random people. But if the people really knew who this person was, they wouldn't like them either, is what you feel. I feel like you really like this person, and every chance this person had to fix this connection, they didn't. And it created a lot of resentment. And because you were ignored, you're like, I don't want to be ignored, and not just ignored, but then when you want to be around, when you want me for something, like you're coming in and out, you're giving me just enough, that intermittent manipulation, in and out, like someone that goes often, and that's not how you wanted to live. You had boundaries. And what you feel like is those boundaries were like that this person would act as if, like you guys were a monogamous couple, that you were not going to date somebody that was dating 10 other people, that someone that was going to show up for you once in a while and have a lot of passion and come in and out. That's not the type of relationship that you wanted. And it's like this person knows who you are, but still decided to come in and disrespect your boundaries. And so you feel like this person just all that they do is disrespect you. It's like it's their way of unconsciously pushing you to be submissive to them, where they're again can pretend that they're more superior than you. And I don't know whether they know that they are doing that purposely, again, dominating or trying to dominate you, which means that you're not really allowed to have your own opinions. You're not allowed to be a person. It's like, again, because your needs, your emotional needs, psychologically, what you need from this person emotionally. They don't want to hold to that. They want to do what they want to do. And I feel like they came in and they promised, or you thought that, the boundaries were set and that this person would actually respect them because there's a connection, there's a deep connection. But what you see is it's like this person is on such a low vibration, it doesn't matter about the connection. To them, it's all about dominance and control to the point that, it lost the innocence, it's lost the where you want to be intimate with this person. Intimacy is trust. You don't trust this person because it's like, why spend so much time trying to dominate and control? instead of, you know, creating a healthy give and take relationship. And the reason why is because this person doesn't really believe in themselves. Like, again, they have trauma. Anyone that's there, but not there, distracted, tells me that there's intimacy issues where you're always going to feel like, in a way, like excluded. And it's because this person's not emotionally intelligent. So they can't give you what you need emotionally. And so again, what they will do is they'll come in for a lot of passion. They'll come in when they feel like it. It's like, and when, if you ask them for anything, they would then like come and be the fixer and the doer. But it's almost like this person needs you to like reassure them and chase them. Otherwise, you're getting ignored. And um, even if you are giving this person attention, they still may ignore you, again, which is why there's resentment acts up because it's like, do you want to be in a relationship or don't you want to be in a relationship? It's like when you're with me, you're not really with me. And I feel like that's just their anxiety. But it does feel like they're distracted. And part of that is it's because, again, having a deep relationship makes a person like tap into themselves. And if they're wounded, it's going to bring up a lot of past traumas that aren't healed. So this person tries to distract themselves, and where they really need to feel desirable, they really need to get a lot of attention from people. And that's the thing. If you were to give this person all the attention, they wouldn't like you. That's the thing. So it's not like you can become the fixer for this person. That's the thing. It's like this person gets bored extremely fast. And that's why I said they need the spotlight. They're needy. And people that are needy need other people to fill them emotionally. And that would entertain, use them for what they have. They're not building the emotional connection where you would actually have a conscience of how you treat a person. Why would you want to create a lot of resentment in a relationship? Well, again, because this person did a lot of things, and all those things were the same, which is either you were ignored and excluded, or you allowed your boundaries to get crossed and you were disrespected in that way, where this person then would still not really show you the energy because they need to get attention from a lot of different people. So again, to make it almost feel as if they're superior. And I don't know whether they do that consciously. I'm feeling that they don't. I feel like they get triggered. And you might say it doesn't matter like whether they do it consciously or not. I just think that this person has a lot of trauma. Anyone that wants to dominate someone else means that they haven't found who they are, right? I mean, if you want to dominate, that means that you're fearful. You're not going to allow the person to have their opinions and thoughts. Why? Because of abandonment. So what this person does is they never really allow you in. So you can't actually leave them because they never really let you in. And like I said, I don't know whether or not they're 100% conscious of why they do it, but I know that they do it. And that's why you're like, you didn't fix this. I thought by a certain amount of time that you would have came back and would have fixed it, that you would have stopped the behaviors. Like, and that's really what it is, where this person says, you think that I don't listen to you, but I am. I hear everything that you say and even replay our conversations in our head. If anything, this person ruminates on everything over and over and over again. This person, is always in a place of insecurity. I wanted to send you a message today, but I was afraid to. I don't know if you want to hear from me or if I can say the right thing to you. Because now that, are disgusted, they know that you're disgusted because, like, whatever they were doing they didn't get the result that they thought that they were going to get, which was that you were going to go to them, that you were going to eventually come back and start talking to them, and that this would be just a little tiff, and but it turned into like a big thing because you never went back to this person. You were like, nope. It's like you were like you got to a place where you're like, I'm tired. Like, why am I going to be with you? Why? So that you can pretend that you want to be in a relationship with me. Give me just enough so you can ghost me again. So again, that is again intermittent manipulation, which actually causes brain damage. It creates so much anxiety and trust issues. It creates attachment issues, where this is what this person is comfortable with, but that always makes them be in the superior seat, and you are going to be in the submissive seat. So you lose your identity. That's what that is. And even after you've given up your identity, guess what? You're replaced because this person is not fulfilled. We are alchemists. We transform fear into love and shadow into light. So again, the spirit saying was more like a spiritual test for you. Like again, the alchemy of your life. This person has an opportunity too to alchemize what they need to, which would be, to create more intimacy, which is trust, by being more transparent and, actually feeding the connection instead of creating um, unnecessary drama and trying to dominate the relationship by this intermittent manipulation, where they cut the person's self-esteem down because they're going to dominate the person's life by not making them feel secure, by being in and out, by ghosting them. And then when, you have holidays or events, birthdays, death in the family, whatever it is, they're not going to be able to show up for you. They're not showing up for you. But then this person needs all the attention on them. So again, what they do is they pay attention to themselves. Again, this is why they're the exhibitionists. They always wanted the attention. I'm tired of being away from you physically. I'm trying to process my fear so I can come back to you. So again, this person was going to reach out to you. They want to come back to you, but I feel like this person feels like an idiot. They don't really know how they're going to come back, right? I mean, they're the ones that created this. That like there was no problem. The problem was that this person needed you to chase them, needed you to reassure them, and not even that, because I feel like you did that. I feel like they just needed you to sit in the submissive seat so that they could dominate and so that they could feel good about themselves. And I don't know if they're aware of that insecurity or they became aware of that because by you being like, hell to the no, I am not coming back to you after you did all that. You need to come back to me and apologize. And this is why, again, you're a little shocked. Like I said, you're like, wait a minute, I thought that you were this person. But now I'm really disgusted because you didn't just do all this, but now you're holding back from me. Well, that's insecurity. See, you're taking it like, oh, that this person is again in their ego. No, I feel like what it is that by them having to come back to you surrenders their ego. And that, remember, a person has to do that to get to a place of unconditional love. They got to swallow their pride. That's never done easily for with a person that's wounded. And someone that does all this for there was no problem here. It's like they made it a problem. And that's really like, so it's like, this is what it is. It's like, I have to come back to you and I have to surrender my ego. That's terrifying. They're going to have to be transparent. Oh, that's even more terrifying. They have to do everything that they were not willing to do before. So this is why they're in separation, because you are not going to settle for anything less. And they know that. It's like, but this is why they're kicking themselves because like when they first came into your life, you were like, didn't have so many rules, didn't have so many boundaries. Now your boundaries are really up And they know that if they even cross them because they've already crossed your boundaries before, and your boundaries were like, just respect me. Now you're going to be asking for a lot more. You're in a different space. So remember, they didn't feel that they were enough when they were playing games, when you weren't asking for anything. Now that you're asking for something, now that you're expecting something, well, again, that brings out the worst in this person because again, it triggers their insecurity. Because why, again, does somebody do all this? I mean, this person that got in their own way, they sabotaged the connection. And that's why you're like, I don't really care what your issue was, you know? It's like I can't unsee what you showed me, and that's a shame. I wish I could share my good news with you. This person is like changing. It's like they're waiting for a sign from you. Because again, I don't know how to come back. I don't know how to fix this. Again, they do. They do. They have to care more about you than themselves. And that's the problem. It's like I'm gonna not sugarcoat it here, okay? Like this person, like they care. Oh, I have feelings. Oh, sometimes I stay awake, thinking about you. I hide behind my material things. I like to make excuses like the timing just wasn't right. I mean, but this person doesn't react when people mention you. Again, they're still hiding. They're still hiding. And that's what it is. It's like, again, they're still, I'm not going to let you in protected. And unless this person shows some sort of emotional vulnerability, you're not taking this person back because it's like they didn't show up for you. And one way that you're like, that can read the relationship is how open a person is and how transparent. This person does think that they love you, but it's like, they don't believe that anyone could really love them. Is that why they created this? That could be. It's again, and they were coming from their ego. Again, we feel again that low self-esteem. But this person completely sabotaged the connection for no reason. They never let you in. They never gave enough. They gave just enough. Just enough. Which again is toying while they ran around and talked to other people. I'm sad that we just aren't meant for each other. It's like this person like is saying that, or you may be saying that. Um, where I feel like at one point you were sad that you weren't meant for each other because, like I said, there was a desire, but I think that you're not sad anymore. I think you're disgusted. And this person is they don't know how to come back. They're going to wait for a sign from you. They're still in their ego. And what's going to happen is instead of them really ever coming to terms and saying, oh, you're never coming back. You're never ever coming back. That means I have to come back. What they're going to say is, we're just not meant for each other. When really they know what the issue is. Like I had to move on because I'm just not ready now. And that's really what it is. I feel like you had to move on because you like saw that this person was not changing and they're not changing. It's again like where I don't know whether they moved on and are talking to like one other person or multiple people, but understand it's mainly because you're saying you have to come back to me. If you want me in your life, you have to be transparent, you have to be open, and you have to be respectful to me. And this person, like I said, it's almost like they can't do it. They can't. Now, I'm gonna leave that there because what we see is again, they're just not ready to come back. That they do have feelings for you. It's like, hey, if you would like a call, they would be back in a heartbeat, but they want to do things on their terms. It's still my way or the highway. And that's why this person is like can feel your energy because you're like, who the hell are you? Like, why would you focus so much on being right. Now, I feel like number one, before pulling any of your inner child wound cards, because we pull the inner child cards again to see what the karmic theme is that continues to play out within your connections, and they happened in childhood first, that you had like a parent or like a sibling that knew that they were wrong but couldn't apologize. But couldn't apologize. They were too, like, again, too big of an ego, because that means that they have to view themselves again differently, and they don't want to take responsibility. So if I can make you the villain, if I can make see all your flaws, where I feel like you grew up in an environment that people knew that they didn't treat you right and that they were okay with it. And so you had to actually walk away from that family member or walk away from that friend that you considered family, that wanted you to live as if you were like beneath them and didn't understand why you had a problem with it, where you felt like, well, I'm completely being gaslit right now, because it's like they know, but they don't care. They're showing me one thing. And that's trauma. When you have a sister or a brother that you love and they don't want to view you for who you are today, they want to view you through your wounds of the past, or who the environment conditioned them, or again, through whatever their distorted perceptions are. When you grow up in imbalanced environments, unfortunately, it's every man for himself, and there's always a black sheep. And that black sheep is the one that usually takes on the issues, the problems. They're the reason why. And so when that black sheep shows a different version of themselves, well, people have a problem with it, because now they got to look at themselves and they got to change how they perceive you. And again, they don't want to do that for their own comfort. So I feel like for some, that's why this spiritual situation is playing out, why you're like with a person that's so stubborn that they're like, I just can't go to you. I just can't do it. I just need to move on. I love you, but I'm just not ready to do that, which is I'm just not ready to be faithful. I'm just not ready to show up. I'm just not ready to have to like pay attention to your needs. And that's someone that's very selfish. So we say again, why did you attract this person into your life? The first part out is physical touch, and that's we always say that is comparison um to emotional touch. I'm gonna sneeze. Feel like I'm gonna sneeze. Stop. Don't sneeze. Don't sneeze. When you get that burn in your nose. Oh no, don't do it. Like, because once I start, it's like 50 sneezes in a row. And out of nowhere for no reason, right? It's like, but the physical touch, um, the space, if emotionally you didn't get that support, then a lot of times you don't go out and venture into the world to discover new things, right? You again wind up paying attention more to your parents' needs, or again, your environment, to what's happening in the environment, because your emotional needs now are that you're taught are transactional, like that love is transactional. Then unless I give, I'm not getting back. Unless I played this part, I'm not going to be back. Like you always have to settle, that you can't have. So there's a perception like you can't have, where spirit says that's not true. That's a held on belief. But because of that held belief, you didn't create a lot of experiences. There's parts of you that weren't allowed to be a child, so you don't really know who you are. Uh, and so Spirit says, but understand the child that survives thrives. So again, that trauma of emotionally not being supported and not given. And emotional abuse is, it looks like bullying a lot of times. So imagine a child that feels that they're being bullied by a parent or, a sibling, again, making them live a certain way, again, beneath them, scaring them, acting as if they were more superior. And I say that because the next card out is abuse. So again, even though you may say the person wasn't hit, psychologically and emotionally, this is how it played out. It's like you then gave of yourself to emotionally get back. That's what you were taught. You didn't feel safe to actually have an unfoldment process. You were more concerned about being liked than being respected. And that's what happens when you grow up in that type of environment where you just don't feel safe. You have to go through things by yourself. You'll isolate. And so there's a perception that you always have to be alone. That's what this person is doing. They're recreating the same exact thing, pretty much. Psychologically and emotionally, they're not there for you. So again, the isolation was there because of the abuse that you grew up without getting the emotional attention. So this person still is like emotionally manipulating you, emotionally trying to scare you, using time and space as a way to be like, I'm not coming back to you, even though I know I'm wrong. Even though I know I'm wrong. So again, I believe when someone that loves you does that, you just can't believe that they're willing to throw away a relationship, like that you have to like live like beneath beneath them, not in alignment with your true self, in order to be in such connections. As Spirit says, you have to walk away from those type of relationships because you can't have people that are jealous of you clapping for you. They're not going to do it. It's like you can't have, in order for you to be in their lives, you have to be like living worse than them so that their self-fulfilling prophecy about you is true, so that they feel good about themselves. And that is what happens when you deal with people that are very wounded. So I feel like that's what you grew up with. And I feel like that's something that has played out a few times within your life, where you're like, this always happens. Like I wind up like I'm friends with someone and I give and I give and I give. And then I notice that they wind up being jealous of me. I wind up seeing that they're not there for me when I go through a hard time. Like this is what you feel. And so Spirit says it's about feeding yourself. I'm looking for a deck of cards. Here they are right here. Sure. Like, so we have to say again, why? What are we supposed to do with this energy? Where Spirit says, well, the imprint again of why, what happened, like shows again, not getting the emotional support, but the connection to source is very important there because that's how we co-create with the universe, right? Because the universe is source. But it's the higher self of ourself, and we're able to like tap into that energy so that we can give and receive of love, because that's all that source is the energy of love. So it means that you are creating yourself at this time, that you were again supported by the universe, source, God, which is Father, instead of maybe your father, because there wasn't that support. That person wasn't there. Or if they were, it's again, the love was transactional. You had to like do something in order to be acknowledged. So Spirit says, now the connection to source, you're going to use in a different way, not just for your survival, but to thrive. And Spirit says, by, using your voice to express yourself fearlessly. So again, setting boundaries, that could be something that was really difficult, but it's also to create the world that you're not just at this time creating yourself, because I feel like you've been doing that. I feel like it's about grounding that. And it's about, making those connections, being like grounded and hitting the pavement and seeing who you connect with, who you could collaborate with, who might enhance your career a little bit, whether that's let me take this class, let me, and if you might say, I hate my career, then maybe it's again look into a hobby or an interest that you can make into a career. It takes a mustard seed's worth of effort at a time. You have to start somewhere. But that would also mean changing your life around by making sure that you know, um, had a day before your day, meaning like you get up in the morning and you see what places that you could take a class in. It's again, you have to make these small little steps, and then before you know it, you've made a way where there was no way. But it's can you use your voice by asking? Just like God created the world with its voice, you too can create the world with your voice. But you have to ask, and you have to again be interactive. And it's all about loving yourself. This person again made you feel as if you were hard to love, made it feel like, oh, that you weren't worth loving. And that was the energy. So whenever we have trauma, we have to reparent ourselves. And Spirit says that no one's coming in to do this. I'm your father, and I will give you the love through showing you the support, that this is what support is. You don't get what you want, you get what you need to help you heal, to evolve back into your original state of unconditional love, which is the most abundant, so you can become a magnet of who and what you want because your needs and wants change. So again, you're the creator of your life. You're the alchemist of your life. It was about transforming these wounds of, I'm not deserving. I don't have emotional support, where Spirit says you have emotional support if you got into your body and you again interacted in your community and you use your voice to, see what classes, what do you want to put where do you want to put your energy? And that's a way to love yourself. You're creating balance within yourself. Really that's what Spirit's saying. That's, but if you don't show up for yourself, then it's not going to happen. And so Spirit says maybe in the past you waited for someone to like come in and give you that emotional support, to show up for you, to hold space, to encourage you. Where Spirit says no one's coming in to do that. You have to do it yourself. You got to love yourself enough to do it. And that means you also have to have a fearless heart. Have courage. Have courage by going into the unknown, to act from a place of love instead of fear. Let your heart guide you. And that's first and foremost through creating yourself. That Spirit says, you don't want to attract a person that gives nothing. If they're giving nothing, it means that there's empty parts of you that need to be integrated. They're wounded parts of you that you, again, need to integrate. And I say empty because you're not your trauma. But when we hold on to energy, it's like we become that consciousness by attracting that, not really because we are that. We're Spirit saying it's like you want to create a new life. You create new neurological pathways by going into new experiences. Have courage, meaning that your life is not going to be the same. You're going to see yourself differently. I'm going to bring you people, situations, experiences that change your mind and your heart. That, again, are going to show you who you truly are, what you can have. It's going to open up your third eye. You're going to connect to that higher crown chakra through claircognizance, which is knowing, by being led through the gut and intuition. And so Spirit's saying it's like this about you, like being on your own path, enjoying the journey right now. That's what it is. It's like it's not about it's not about connecting to anyone on an emotional level yet. Spirit saying you have to love yourself enough to to really attract that, and that's and Spirit saying, and you show me that through what you're creating in your life, like how you're investing your time, your energy, your focus, your money, your resources. You're the magician. Again, the magician tarot card, again, everything that magician needs, they have to manifest. Well, you too do. And Spirit says, use your voice. It's like ask people, be interactive in your life, be more grounded, invest in yourself, give yourself that emotional support by showing up for yourself, by being the parent, encouraging yourself no matter what you have to do, and by enjoying that your the journey right now, because you don't really know how things are going to unfold, and Spirit says you're not supposed to right now. It's more or less about healing yourself and creating yourself and not connecting with a person. And this is a co-creation process. So again, by being in your passions and finding your passions, and that's when you're again in alignment and you're listening to yourself, you're on your path. The Spirit says you're on the right way, even if it's your own way, right now, because again, healing is a process that needs to be honored, and you can't really create anything that's new until you heal what is fragmented, because whatever you're going to build on is going to wind up becoming fragmented, right? Because it's not built on truth. So you get yourself to a place of truth by unconditional love, by becoming the unconditional love, by giving yourself what you didn't get in childhood and what you continually don't get, which is that emotional support, which, having a person like play games. And Spirit says, and we end off with one card. It fell out, and I never believe in any mistakes, so we're going to take it. Like Spirit says, accept every step that life presents you without resistance. Try to find out what the universe is trying to teach you so that you can grow, so you can advance in freedom on the path to light. And that's exactly what Spirit said. There you go. Said this was about like healing by reparenting yourself, by being put in that energy of exactly what you dealt with in childhood and saying, I don't want this. I know what I'm deserving of. I've done the healing. And Spirit says, prove it. Don't be attached to this person. Put your energy on your own path. And yes, it's going to take courage, but I'm going to bring you like a whole new life. So you don't want to be stuck to things that emotionally are not giving you. But as you fill your own cup, you will be attracting people that are then it also filling your cup up, because their cups are so overflown because they're doing what they need to do for themselves. This person doesn't do what they need to do for themselves. And that's why they're not ready. And that's their choice. That's why they're a karmic. All right, I'm going to leave that there. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.